You have your future in your hands. Do yourself a favor and get started right away on the path that will lead you to financial success. The wise words of William Shatner can be paraphrased as follows: "If saving money is wrong, I don't want to be right." A workable budget is not just intended to restrict how much you can spend overall. Rather, it is just a strategy for how your money is best spent. Unfortunately, too many of us have a tendency to associate the word budget with the same constraints as the often despised word diet. Understanding your monthly spending is simple, but pinpointing exactly what you spent your money on seems to be more complex. 2/3 of Americans do not keep track of their monthly spending, according to Gallup research. The blind spot may appear unimportant, yet it is frequently to blame for issues like mounting credit card debt, domestic disputes, daily stress, and future uncertainty. Hi, and welcome back to Fascinating Self. If you are the type of person that always worries about how your money always disappears into thin air, you have come to the right place. In this episode, we are going to talk about habits that prevent us from saving our hard-earned cash. Stay with us until the end of the video to know how to change your poor saving culture and secure yourself a comfortable future. Habit number 1. Purchasing decisions based on emotions. We are emotional beings. There's no doubt about that. Even while our minds can assist us in arriving at logical conclusions, the vast majority of the decisions that we make on a daily basis are influenced by our feelings. The emotional triggers and emotions that we experience can potentially have an effect on how we react to the circumstances that are given to us. Let's use a very concrete example to illustrate this point. For the sake of this discussion, let's assume that you already own a 2001 Toyota Corolla that is in fantastic condition and is able to transport you from point A to point B without any problems. Why would you put money towards a brand new Mercedes-Benz SUV if you already have one? Emotions. In point of fact, logical considerations did not play a role in the decision to go with this option. Perhaps you have decided that you need a new car because you have always admired the Mercedes nameplate. Regardless of the circumstances, one of the primary factors that led to your current impasse in the red zone was the impulse purchases you made. They will deplete the funds in your bank account and will frequently result in additional debt for you. Habit number 2. Falling for Ponzi schemes. It is intriguing to think about creating quick, simple money. Scammers are aware of it. Get-rich-quick schemes can take many different shapes and sizes. Here are notable examples. The most well-known ones include pyramid scams, which pose as reputable business possibilities or investments, but actually offer nothing of real value. Scams in online affiliate marketing guarantee substantial earnings for just a few hours a week of work. Scams involving internet surveys that promise incentives or compensation for participating. Beware that when a business opportunity asks you to make a sizable upfront payment, this is one of the biggest red flags that it is a get-rich-quick scheme. They might even go so far as to refer to your initial deposit as an investment, promising huge returns in the future. Unfortunately, making an upfront investment entails buying something rather than selling anything. As a result, the biggest risk posed by get-rich-quick scams is severe financial loss, which might wipe out all of your life savings, not to mention the risk of identity theft, which could get you into serious problems. These scams may not be obvious at first glance, but if a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. Habit number 3. Gambling. Can gambling make you poor? The short and straightforward answer is yes. Like alcohol or drugs, gambling can cause the brain's reward system to become overstimulated, which can result in addiction. If you have a compulsive gambling issue, you can keep chasing bets that end in losses, deplete your funds, and put you in a lifetime of debt. To feed your addiction, you can hide your conduct or even start stealing or engaging in fraud. It gets worse. Problem gamblers are more prone than other people to experience low self-esteem, stress-related problems, anxiety, poor sleep, poor eating, a problem with substance abuse, and depression, according to the Royal College of Psychiatrists. Make no mistake, only 4% of gamblers win their bets, meaning most of us fall in the remaining 95% of losers. The house always wins. Gambling should never be your plan B, C, D, or Z to become rich. Habit number 4. Increasing expenses in proportion to the growth of your income. There is no downside to living at a higher standard when you have the means to do so. On the other hand, if you are the type of person who is always looking for new ways to spend your money, you will most likely find yourself in a challenging circumstance sooner rather than later. If you consistently increase your spending alongside any growth in your income, or even without it, it will be difficult to accumulate any savings that can be considered substantial. You should look into ways to boost your income while also making an effort to maintain the level of your current expenditures. That is the way to achieve your goals. Habit number 5. You believe that it is too soon to begin saving money. When you are young, it is easy to let yourself get carried away by the multitude of joys that can be acquired with money. However, it is important to remember that there is a time and a place for everything. It is a common misconception that beginning to save money or invest money at the present moment is too early to start doing either of those things. Wrong. It doesn't matter how much or how little money you bring in each month. It's never too early to start putting some of it away in a savings account. Start putting money away into your savings account right away. In point of fact, financial professionals advise that you save money first before making any purchases, and that you should follow their advice. You should put some of the money or income you get each time into an account for savings, and then you should spend the rest of it on whatever you like. Habit number 6. Failure to preserve correct financial records. Everyone here is under the assumption that they are knowledgeable about where their money comes from and where it goes. Sadly, it is not the situation for the overwhelming majority of us. Even if we most certainly are conscious of our major purchases, our money is often emptied more rapidly by the lesser things than they are by the larger items. Maintaining a diary in which you record all of your transactions, irrespective of how large or inconsequential they may be, is a very good habit to get into, since it is a very good idea to do so. If you proceed in this fashion, you will have a much better notion of how to maintain control over your financial situation. Habit number 7. Poor budgeting. Budgeting that is either insufficient or not done properly. There is a chance that you are recording everything that goes on. On the other hand, it's possible that you don't have a budget, which is an unacceptable starting point. Your ability to successfully plan and manage your finances depends on having a budget that is both practical and meticulously documented. Make a plan for your spending, and then don't deviate from it. I can say with absolute certainty that it does make a significant impact on how you think about the state of your financial situation, as a result of my own personal experience with it. In the absence of a budget, it is very easy to let oneself get carried away, which can lead to unnecessary expenditures. It is also very easy to allow oneself to get carried away. Tip number 8. Upgrading tech devices on a consistent basis. Raise your hand if you are always lining up at the Apple Store in October to get the most recent device. Consumers are continuously searching for the newest and best technology in a world powered by it. Although a new gadget frequently has the potential to make a person's life better, buyers should not mistake these purchases for investments. Electronics depreciate as soon as they are used, just like a new car does. Carefully evaluate features and specifications before buying any new gear. Consumers are inundated with advertisements for the newest electronics from electronic brands, manufacturers, and merchants, making it difficult to resist the impulse to buy. Although many consumers argue that upgrading to a new device will give them better specs, experts warn that there may not be much of a difference between the old and new, making the change cost ineffective and a huge dig to your savings. Tip number 9. Avoid paying your bills and other financial commitments. In today's modern world, for a variety of different reasons, interest expenses consume a sizable portion of a lot of people's total financial resources. Confronting this unsettling reality is not enjoyable. In spite of this, they are unable to break out of this vicious loop, which has led to them having very little to no money as a result of the downward spiral they have found themselves in. To get started, you should move to pay off your debt to the top of your to-do list as quickly as you can. This should be done as soon as feasible. Establish a plan to deal with this situation, and no matter what transpires, do not deviate from it in any way. You probably don't want to come clean and acknowledge that you're having some sort of financial difficulty, do you? Tip number 10. Spending too much on consumption rather than creation. Spending on enjoying ourselves is another significant money mistake we make that prevents us from becoming wealthy permanently. You may think that since I make a good living, why shouldn't I show up every Friday to hang out with my pals and spend a few $1,000s in the process? We live in a world where most people subscribe to the common cliche, you only live once. True as it may sound, it does not imply that you blow your life savings trying to live your life to the fullest. There you have it, folks. The formula for financial freedom is easier said than done. However, the hard road is the one that always bears the best results. Start saving today. Stick to your budget and make sound investments that will secure your future. Hope you liked it, and do not forget to watch our previous episode on the best ways to get passive income to help you retire early. See you in the next one.